If you have one satisfied customer, they tell others.
Yes.
People are your best marketers. You have to have the audacity to believe in your dream.
Yeah.
You cannot have the audacity when you're thinking about food. There's no magic to scaling. It is all capital. So either you're raising money or you're saving money and scaling.
Hi guys, so today I'm with the MD of Paradis Lagos. He's a budding entrepreneur and he has done so well for himself. And for someone who has attained this level of success, there is obviously a story and a journey behind it. And we are here today to unravel that story like we always do. So, hi Timi.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. And you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
So first off, I'd like you to give us like a brief intro of how you first started this whole place. Obviously, we're here at Paradis.
Right.
But just a background story of how you first started ever being a business owner.
So first off, I think I've been doing business from when I was very young. I've always liked having my own money, not having to ask my mom. So I've done a lot of stuff. I've tried a lot of stuff, sold computers, sold phones, just hustle jam and everything.
Yeah.
But eventually I started Paradis out of a need for, I like going out a lot. I have friends that go out a lot and I enjoy hosting.
Okay.
You know, people come to my house, I'm cooking, I'm serving them drinks. I like people being happy in my space. And I just figured at that time I was trying to come back to, I was living in the US, I was working a corporate job.
Okay.
Yeah, I was working in a tax consulting firm. Good job, great benefits, everything, but there was still something missing. It wasn't home, you know.
Yeah.
I was always in Nigeria every 4 months, 5 months, and I'm coming, I'm seeing my friends in Nigeria doing businesses, buying cars. Me, I'm there on student loan, credit, you know. The energy I got from Nigeria just made me want to come back fully. So made me want to come and do something here because at the end of the day, home is home.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I could have done this business in America and still be successful, but I'm more at home here. So I came back and I found a location. It wasn't by mistake, you know. Someone just said, oh, there's one nice location that if I wanted to do a restaurant, I'll do it in that place.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I can do a restaurant. Let me see the space. And then I came, this whole place was flat. It wasn't existing. It was just a flat rooftop surface.
Yeah.
And I saw it and I liked it. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is a good location. Let me see what I can do. And that's how it's started. Prior to that, I do a little bit of stock market investing in the US and I was quite successful with that.
Okay.
So I was just like, let me take some of that money, build an entity, you know, because yes, stock is stock, but that's virtual money. Let me do something we can see, touch with our hands. And then, so I spoke to a friend of mine who is also my partner, and we came together and we said, you know what, let's do this and let's give this environment something different, something classy, and something of standard, you know. So that's how we got into it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So for someone who was working a corporate job and you decided, you know, to come here and invest, what were the challenges that you experienced when you first started out? Because obviously, you know, background knowledge, you know, having experience in the business, I'm sure there are lots of setbacks and challenges that you faced.
Okay, prior to working a corporate job, I used to own another business.
Okay.
Yeah, which was a branding. It started off as a clothing company.
Okay.
Then it evolved into a branding company where I used to do corporate branding for companies. So I had done business in Nigeria. Yes. When I moved to America, I was more like, okay, you know what? I'm tired of business. Let me try the corporate. So I'm used to Nigerian business environment. Yeah. There were many challenges though, because the first one is everyone sees you as a money bag. Everyone wants to take. Yes, all the workers, everybody wants to take from you, thinking you don't know what you're doing. Trust is the major issue in Nigeria. When I started, I didn't really face too many challenges to start up because there was capital. And you know, when you're able to move, I went to Turkey, bought all my lights, all my cutlery, all my plates, everything from Istanbul, all my spoons, because I didn't want Nigerian stress. Until dates, 3 years after, we still have spare spoons, and that's how much we brought in. Brought in most of our furniture from Istanbul to most of the challenges started after the business kicked off.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So,
Okay, so now that you've mentioned it, can you elaborate more on those challenges that you probably are still facing now that the business is obviously, how long has this business been up for right now?
it's been since it launched October 2022.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
So
going
we
to
are
3
doing
years
3 years
now.
now.
Yes.
Okay, so what are those challenges that you are still facing and you're still, have to
The,
encounter now that the business is up and running for
the
3 years
number
now?
one challenge is human resource. Is the human factor.
Okay.
Because I basically strive to give a particular standard. I'm very big on standard. I'm very big on consistency. I'm very big on service. And it's difficult to impose that on people who don't understand what that means. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can tell my waiters it's very important for you to smell good, to smile, whether you feel like it or not.
Oh yeah, because you're rendering a service.
A service. They don't understand how that impacts a sale. They don't understand how that impacts a customer coming back. But in all fairness to my staff and all, over time they seem to have got it.
Okay.
Because contrary to a lot of things in this industry, I've had some staff since I opened that are still here, which
Okay.
is very rare for this industry.
Yeah.
Most times 1 year, 6 months, they move around a lot.
Yeah.
Another major challenge is the environment. It's the government. Almost every week we have different offices coming with different bills, radio
yeah.
license, copyright license, tax, environment, which you have to pay, deal with. Those are like the two major challenges, apart from the general macroeconomic challenges that everybody else is facing.
Yeah.
But that's it. Trying to keep up the standard we started with has been the biggest problem.
For someone who is an employer of labor, how would you rate the quality of employable people that we have in Nigeria, especially young people? Because obviously you employ labor and you've seen things, right? What would you say is the rating of people that we have in the labor market that are employable? That deep breath.
Well, I'll be fair, based on my industry, I think I've always been a little bit lucky with employees.
Okay.
I've had some really bad ones. I've had some not so great ones. But I think I've been lucky to a large extent where I like to believe I'm a good judge of people. I've had to separate with staff based on differences, but sometimes not based on their work ethics.
Okay.
It might be based on difference of opinion, difference of approach. There's a way I like to treat my staff. I like mutual respect.
Yeah.
I respect you, you respect me. So I can't really have managers or people that disrespect my staff and I yell at them, even though they are their workers. I always believe we're all adults, But in terms of the other staff, I see most of them do lack drive. That's something I noticed. They lack a drive there. I don't know whether to say they're okay or the environment has just made them complacent. And you might not blame them because really, what can they really do? You can't grow bigger than your shell. How much can I pay them that can even take care of their life? The cost of living goes up every
single
day. I review salary like once, twice a year because of this, even without being asked, because I understand, but it's really difficult, so I can't really blame them. But there seems to be that laid backness, and I feel most of them are just, let me not say laid back, they've resigned. It's a resignation. Like, what can I do?
What can I do?
How many drinks can I mix in 1 hour that can pay me 500,000 a month?
Yeah. So, but do you think there is a disconnect between expectation and reality? Because I would want to believe that a lot of people have like humble beginnings where they started from, and they had to build their way up to wherever it is that they are today. So do you think the young people probably lack that patience and resilience to be able to push through, regardless of wherever they are at the moment, to like greater heights?
I don't agree.
Yeah?
Strangely, and this is why I'll tell you so. For someone like me, I would be stupid to ignore my privilege. Privilege played a huge part in me getting to where I am today.
Okay.
Not just hard work, not just getting. Now, I worked hard. I had to be smart. I had to hustle. But I did not have to worry about what to eat. I've never had to worry about where to sleep.
Yeah.
I've never had to worry about the basic necessities. It's easy to move ahead in life when you don't have those worries pulling you back.
I agree.
You understand what I'm saying? So for a lot of these people, when they have to worry about those things, they can't even dream. Because everything starts with a dream, and everything is, you have to have the audacity to believe in your dream.
Yeah.
You cannot have the audacity when you're thinking about food. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot, it's difficult. You are just trying to live one day at a time.
Exactly.
So I don't think, like I said, it's resignation. They just don't see hope. When there's no hope, there's really no drive.
What can you do? Yeah.
Because for me now, if this business collapse, okay, I pack my things, I move back to America. I'm broke for 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah, but you bounce back.
But I'll bounce back.
Yeah.
You know, I would hustle back. I would live a comfortable life. I still would not worry about food.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a huge difference in that, and that makes a difference.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move over to let's come back to business a little bit. What is your best negotiation advice that you would give to anybody that is a business owner or someone who is also in the corporate world, as someone who has, you know, been in the hustle and been in the street for a very long time?
My best advice.
Negotiation advice.
My best negotiation advice is always be ready to walk away from a deal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Heard that
because
before.
yes, if you go into a negotiation and you've planned out your worst case scenario, you've known that, okay, I want to buy this drink for, I'm ready to pay 10 naira.
Yeah.
I cannot afford more than 10 naira. And they tell you it's 20 naira. And you're negotiation. Once it gets to 10 naira and the person is not moving,
Yeah.
you need to be ready to walk away. Hoping they'll call you back to the table.
Yeah.
But if they don't call you back to the table, you have to be okay with that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes, that's just...
So that means you can't settle.
you can't settle below your personal standards. You know, you can always negotiate, you can always put things around, but what is your standard? You can't settle. And I'll give you, well, this has nothing to do with negotiation, but standards. For example, if my people serve this drink with a rotten fruit, I will send it back. Though you might say, it's just decoration, the customer doesn't mind, it's just a little bit. No. For me, it's a standard.
It's a standard.
So once you place yourself on a standard, and then with time, people will know you for that standard. And people would pay your price. There will always be someone to pay your price.
Yeah.
You know, it just depends on your value market and where you're playing. So that's it.
You know, you mentioned standard, and then there's something just hits me, right? What are those values and also standards, you know, quote unquote, that you cannot compromise on, and you believe they are the bedrock of you attaining success in your different businesses? There are some values I believe that you cannot compromise on them. You can't ever break them.
That sounds like a simple question, but it's kind of difficult.
Exactly.
It sounds simple, but it's kind of difficult.
Exactly.
Because I'm trying to pinpoint things. I would say it is your personal values, what you stand for. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. So for me, it is when people speak about my business or whatever service I render or whatever good, they have to be able to know it's one of the best. Do you understand what I'm saying? They have to know it's one of the best. So I don't compromise on my values. Right? Because, for example, I own a lounge and a restaurant. If I go somewhere else and I see something bad or wrong, I criticize.
Yes.
So it's going to be hypocritical of me to not be able to do the same thing in my place.
Yeah.
You know, that's why sometimes if there's a mistake somewhere, my staff are like, why is he shouting over such a small thing?
Yeah.
It's personal for me, because if it was somewhere else, I would do the same.
Yeah.
And that's why when people criticize me, I take criticism. Oh yeah, it's very important to take it.
Oh yes, it is. Customer feedback.
Customer feedback, you know, stakeholder feedback. Even if you don't implement every criticism, because you can't satisfy everybody.
Yes.
But you have to try to see things from their point of view. And then that gives you a 360 and a high level overview of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I don't compromise on standards. I don't compromise on keys to my success, I would say, would be personal values, my standard, and the people I surround myself with. Yes, that is very critical to me.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Let's talk about marketing. As someone who is obviously in the entertainment industry, what are the key marketing strategies that you think have worked for you for the period of time that this place has been up and running?
Word of mouth.
Really?
Word of mouth.
Okay.
Word of mouth got us to where we are, and it's not able to take us to the next stage, but it got us to where we are. So we are For the first 2 years, we didn't invest in marketing at all.
Yeah.
100%. Maybe
Makes
just
sense.
the odd advert here and there. Now you see us everywhere, sponsored pages and everything.
Yes, I just.
For the first 2 years, we did not do that. It was very important for me to make sure the standard was developed.
Yeah.
For example, last weekend, I was somewhere and someone introduced me to someone, and the way he introduced me was funny. It was like, remember where we had the best steak? This is the owner. And in my mind, I was like,
that would have sounded so good.
You know, like, and this was outside Lagos. It wasn't even in Lagos. Yes.
That makes sense.
You know, and it was very, very important for me to. So for me, that's the importance of value standards.
Yes.
And the people you surround yourself with.
I quite agree.
Yeah.
So word of mouth is a very important
Most
marketing
important
strategy.
It is the most important for any business.
I agree.
If you have one satisfied customer, they tell others.
Yes.
Like, if you sell this drink now and I enjoy it, and people are like, oh, I want to buy a drink. I'm like, oh, go to this person for this drink.
Yes.
And people are your best marketers. The way people market my space, not just my friends.
Yes.
In fact, I'm like, am I paying you? Because they take it really personal.
Yeah.
And that's all boils down to the standards and
Yes.
giving them an environment where they're comfortable.
Yeah.
When people enjoy your space, they want to share it with their loved ones. They want
agree.
to spread the word, and they feel like they're part of your journey.
Yeah.
And that's very important. Yeah.
So while we're rounding up, I have a very out of scope question, right? But I think whoever is watching would have an opportunity to learn one or two things from it. How do you think people can scale their businesses? I'm asking in relations to a lot of young people. They have small businesses that they're just starting up. Some people are even still in the process of even starting in the first place, right? What do you think are tips, practical tips on how anybody who is a small business owner can be able to scale their business to whatever heights that they envision?
That's a tough one, because at the end of the day, it always boils down to capital. At the end of the day, it always boils down to capital. Now, there are two ways about it. You can raise money, which is difficult for most people.
Yes.
Or you can bootstrap. Bootstrapping is building it little by little.
Yeah, okay.
My advice would be, you have to keep the goal in mind. You have to know from the start that I'm starting this business not as a one-shop location.
Okay.
So that your one shop, you can't think of it as a one shop. You have to think of it as your first shop.
Yes.
I started this business with the plans of building a global restaurant chain with a name. This is not my one location. This is my first location.
Yeah.
This is a location where I'll make my mistakes. I'll learn. I'll understand the business. What in business we like to call, in street business, we like to call it school fees, paying school fees. What you didn't learn in school for this particular business, you have to learn it. To scale, you just have to build and aggressively. You understand? Which means that you have to be able to break your business down into every minute, every square meter, to minute details. For example, the way this business is built, every inch we've calculated the profits it can bring.
Okay.
As you're sitting on this chair, it's calculated. It's calculated. Every space. That's how we know how many people we can take.
Yes.
If we have 50% capacity, how much do we expect the average person to spend? That's how we build our framework.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? That's how we build our plans. We can project. Now, business will teach you. Reality will teach you different from what you learned in school. But then you must be flexible and be willing to adjust. So you just have to be stubborn and aggressive about what you want to do, and know that every setback is just a setback. It's not. There's no magic to scaling. It is all capital. So either you are raising money or you are saving money and scaling.
And investing back into
that's
business.
that's the only way, honestly. So
that makes a lot of sense. I hope somebody learned something today.
so too.
Thank you so much, Timi.
My
it was
pleasure.
really nice having this conversation with you.
Thank you very
We've learned
much.
A whole lot of things from you just in this short conversation that we've had.
All right,
Thanks a
thank
lot.
you much.
Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So you guys don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like every video, and also turn on the notification bell so that you know once we post videos here, because we're here to educate. Bye.